Jerome, put on that Bobby Womack.
Nah, girl, I want to go way back.
The dark truth behind Hollywood's Golden Girls. When we think about Hollywood's golden age from the 1930s through the 1950s, we picture dazzling gowns, glamorous premieres, flashing cameras, and smiling movie stars. It appeared to be a world where dreams came true, but behind those studio gates was another Hollywood, one built on fear, silence, and power. Many young women arrived in California hoping to become stars. Some came from wealthy families while others had almost nothing. Majority. They believed talent and determination would be enough. Instead, many discovered that powerful studio executives, producers, directors, and talent agents often controlled every aspect of their lives. One of Hollywood's worst kept secrets was, you guessed it, the casting couch. So for decades, aspiring actresses reported being pursued and pressured into sexual relationships or unwanted advances by powerful men who promised movie roles, contracts, or career opportunities. Refusing could mean losing a role or even ending a career before it began. The major studios often held enormous control over their actors. They dictated their hairstyles, clothing, weight, dating lives, publicity appearances, interviews, and even changed performers' names, ages, and backgrounds to make them more marketable. Many actresses worked exhausting schedules. 12 to 16-hour days were not uncommon. 6-day work weeks were standard. Some filmed multiple productions simultaneously while attending publicity events late into the night. Rest was considered a luxury. To keep performers working, studios sometimes relied on prescription stimulants to help them stay awake during long filming days. Sleeping pills were often used to force rest at night. Over time, many stars developed dependence on these medications. Others turned to alcohol to numb emotional pain, anxiety, or depression. And there were those who were into the white stuff, or the stuff that can be injected. Although every story is unique, many women describe living under constant pressure to remain thin, beautiful, cheerful, and profitable. Several actresses later spoke openly about exploitation or mistreatment. Barbara Payton's promising career unraveled amid substance abuse and personal turmoil. Frances Farmer spent years battling mental health struggles while also enduring public humiliation, and through many sensational stories about her treatment have been exaggerated over time. Veronica Lake became one of Hollywood's biggest stars, but later struggled with alcoholism and financial hardship. Rita Hayworth once remarked that while audience fell in love with the glamorous image created by Hollywood, her private life was far more complicated. Ava Gardner later described the relentless pressure that came with fame and the emotional toll it took. Marilyn Monroe became one of those world's greatest icons, yet privately battled anxiety, insomnia, dependence on prescription medicine, and overwhelming studio pressure. Dorothy Dandridge shattered racial barriers as one of Hollywood's first black leading ladies. Despite her extraordinary talent, she faced racism, limited opportunities, financial struggles, and emotional hardship that contributed to depression and dependence on prescription meds later in life. Juanita Moore built a respected career during an era with black actresses were largely confined to stereotypical roles despite their immense talent. Anna May Wong became the first Chinese American international movie star, yet was repeatedly denied leading roles because of discrimination, studio practices, and anti-miscegenation, rules that prevented interracial romances on screen. Merle Oberon concealed her South Asian heritage for much of her career because revealing her background could have destroyed her chances in Hollywood during that era. Lupe Velez became one of Hollywood's biggest Latina stars, but often found herself stereotyped into exaggerated roles that reflected Hollywood's limited view of Hispanic women. Many Native American actresses also struggle to find meaningful work, frequently being overlooked or cast in inaccurate stereotypes. While not every actress experienced sexual exploitation, historians agree that the imbalance of power within the studio system created an environment where abuse could flourish and victims often had little protection. Powerful men rarely faced consequences. Studios frequently protected valuable executives because their financial success mattered more than the well being of young performers. Most actresses remained silent, not because they lacked courage, but because speaking out often meant unemployment, damaged reputations, or being labeled difficult. Decades later, movements like Me Too encourage survivors across the entertainment industry to tell stories that have remained buried for generations. Looking back at old Hollywood reminds us that behind the glamour were real people with dreams, fears, and unimaginable pressure. Their beauty lit up movie screens around the world, but for many of these women, the greatest performance wasn't on camera. It was pretending everything was fine. Their stories deserve to be remembered, not only for the films they made, but for the courage of those who eventually revealed the truth about an industry that too often valued profit over people. The golden age of Hollywood created unforgettable stars, but it also left behind countless untold stories of women who paid an extraordinary price for fame. And let's be clear, there are a lot of women that are still experiencing the same thing. The casting couches, the producers, the directors, the talent agents, and so forth and so on. Though some are now, again with the Me Too movement, are speaking out, let's keep in mind that some of those that are speaking out have now been blacklisted. Gratitude for checking in and have a great day.